Hello and hi, happy new year. Welcome to 2018. I can't even believe that those words are coming out of my mouth right now. 365 days have passed, but I just wanted to wish you a happy new year and also introduce you to my Frida Fridays. I feel like every time I say that I have to do a little bit of a shimmy dance. Basically, Frida Fridays is going to be a weekly series released every Friday, obviously. It's going to be around social commentary, real topics like growth and personal development, body positivity, self-care, self-love, etc, etc. So basically, whatever I've learned along the way, I'm hoping to kind of share bits of my journey with you. I know I also get wary about the commercialization of figures, whether it's like artists or former presidents, maybe even like freedom fighters, you know, Che Guevara on a t-shirt or Nelson Mandela on a mug. But I just wanted to pay homage to an incredible woman and do this in her honor. She was such an incredible woman of strength and resilience. I love the fact that she would never ever let her circumstances dictate her reality, and I also absolutely love the fact that she walked in vulnerability in everything she did. In the self-portraits that she created, she used that almost as a way to deal with her trauma and to, what I think anyway, heal and find like catharsism. Is that a word? To find catharsism in situations that were not in her favor. So Frida, this one's for you. I went on an intentional journey of growth last year and it's really worked for me. And that's not to say that it was easy at all, but it was so incredibly worthwhile. Like, I can't stress that enough, how much I honor my growth and really value how far I've come since last year. I mean, I didn't even think I'd be sitting here making a video into 2018. I couldn't even see past, you know, the end of days a lot of the times, and yet here I am. It was around May last year that things really shifted for me. I'd been working in Cape Town, was very comfortable, you know, was very happy in the job that I had in radio and in the kind of things that I was being casted into for like character acting. But I think anytime that I get too comfortable and too used to a space, I start feeling very restless, and I just want to shake myself up and do something that, number one, scares me, and secondly, that puts me in a better position for my future. I'm a very ambitious person generally, which sometimes it does not work with my anxiety, like the two bump heads all the time. But one has to give way, right? Like, I feel like light and love and fear can't coexist in the same body and in the same space. And so I had to choose the path of love and the path of light and the path of honoring my journey into my career. So I spoke to my partner very briefly and I was like, let's move to Joburg. And he said yes. Now I was really hoping that I'd be met with more resistance, like, no, what are you thinking? Like, we're comfortable, we're settled, let's chill in Cape Town for a bit. I mean, look at the views and the beauty. But I think the both of us are kind of like, you know, vibing on the same level. We made the move. A month later, we stopped our lease. I quit my job, he got his papers in order, and we made our way to another city. Before I left, I stumbled across this video by Kanye Dlomo. She was saying something incredibly powerful. The way that life works, and to almost give meaning to life, it's been set up in these levels, and the purpose is for God to take us from one level to the next level to the next level, right? But the thing is that before we can get to the next level, our character needs to build to prepare us for what's ahead of us. Often we dream big, which is great. I mean, if your dreams don't scare you, they're too small, am I right? But oftentimes we dream about big things and think about big things, but don't necessarily consider the kind of change that we need to make and the kind of growth that we need to embark on in order to receive everything that we want. I kind of likened it to a TV game. I mean, I grew up with TV games, I'm a 90s kid, and so my brother and I would constantly play like Super Mario, or Mario rather, or play like Tekken or something like that when we finally got our PS1. You know, there were levels to that ish too, and you always had to either face an enemy in terms of like Mario, or face a partner in terms of Tekken, and you needed to have the skills to be able to fight, right? Now me and my illiterate when it comes to TV game but would often just kind of like press a million buttons at the same time, and then somehow a combo used to come out of that, which made me very happy. But I think that when it comes to life, you need to take it a little bit more seriously and not just wing things. And I think the temptation is often to do that because the alternative is a little bit scary. To go down this path is so incredibly uncomfortable and unsettling. One of my cousins that got me through, you know, some of my darker days told me, or likened it to being growing pains, you know, like you go through when you age a little bit, from being like a prepubescent teen to a teen to a young adult to an adult. Physically you feel it, and now as well, when it comes to growing, you feel it in your spirit, in your soul, in your insides. It pulls you and pushes you and makes you very, very unsettled and causes a lot of anxiety, I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, the person that I am now is a much better version of the person I was like 8 months ago, maybe even 3 months ago, and that's because I've intentionally tried to grow from my mistakes and learn from them. And in this process, my character had to be built and had to undergo a lot of pressure and had to undergo a lot of re-evaluation. Now, character and personality are a little bit different. The way I see it, personality is more of a surface level thing that we all basically have, some of us multiple. That's okay too, and it's the kind of thing that you present to people, or at least project to the world. You know, wherever you go, depending on your audience, depending on the crowd, you might change it up a bit. Depending on certain substances, it might change you a little bit. And character is a little bit deeper than that. Character is the foundation and the base of who you are. People often say that character is who you are when no one's looking. I like to think about it as character is whoever you are before you close your eyes, before you go to bed. You know, you're not surrounded by anybody else. It's just you and your thoughts and who you are, the essence of your being. And I had to come to a point of realizing that who I was at the time of the immense growth that was taking place was just not serving me at all. I mean, at the time, in this period of trying to grapple with everything around me, my anxiety, my depression, my change of environment, my adjusting, you know, I hurt people, I wasn't taking care of myself in the way that I should have, mentally, emotionally, physically. Who I was just wasn't serving me in any way, shape or form. I needed to address that and change that and fill myself and fill my own cup before even projecting out into the world all of my insecurities and hurt and confusion. And I needed to deal with all that icky, gross stuff inside. You know, I think that self-care, you know, there's a lot of talk about self-care and self-love, and I think that's incredible that there's more visibility around this. It's very, very important to take care of your mental health, but I think often it gets lost in like the rhetoric around, like, you know, getting manis and pedis, which is great. Take care of your skin too and treat yourself. But also, it's not just about the good stuff and about, you know, pampering yourself with coconut oil. It's also about acknowledging and looking into those dark and gross and sticky and horrible parts about yourself that you're so scared to face, to readdress those, to try to change those, so that when another situation comes up again that might mimic a previous one that you might have gotten over, and you get a second chance to you know, approach a situation, that you can be a better version of yourself when you do. I refuse to see anything as failure. I refuse to see anything as permanent as well, which can be a bit tough, because I think when you're stuck in a really, really warped and dark space, it feels like it might last forever. When you're stuck in this period of really uncomfortable growth, it feels like you're never going to get out of it, and you're never going to find peace, and you're never going to be okay and be settled and be breathing easily. But the two things that I definitely learned, or three things rather, that I definitely learned out of those is that number one, which I was told to by a beautiful woman, she said, as long as you're breathing, you're moving. For some people, and I know for a large part of the past 2 years for me, it was a really difficult decision and very difficult move for me to even get out of bed and make myself some damn toast. I wish I knew this mantra back then, that you're breathing, you're moving through the day, and you got up today, you woke up today. That is a blessing, number one. And secondly, not only a blessing, it's a privilege, and it's something that you need to acknowledge and something that you need to embrace. As long as you're breathing, you're moving. The second thing I learned is that I'm capable. Growth has taught me that I am capable. You're capable of so much more than you think you are. Life hands us some really horrible situations, some really difficult people to deal with and to learn from, but you're capable of handling all of it. It might not feel like it, but you are. Believe me, you are. And the third thing that I learned, you're deserving. It seems like such a simple thing and something that is handed out to everyone, and it is, but it also is something that you have to walk in. You are deserving. You're deserving of love, you're deserving of friendship, you're deserving of a loving relationship, you're deserving of a future that is bright and that serves you and that works for you. You're deserving of nice things, man. You're deserving of living a full, beautiful, whole life. So when it comes to growth and personal development, and it's a journey, don't forget that. It's not just one thing that kind of flips in your mind and flips in your life and then you're this new person. It comes with every decision you make of every single day, right? But when it comes to that, there are two things that you definitely need to remember. That it takes faith and that it takes action. By faith, I mean go for what you want to go for. Make the decision to do that, because that's the first step. And the second thing, it's to reach out and grab that promise that's already yours. It's there, it's in the ether, it's in the atmosphere. It's already been given to you. You just have to take action in order to have it. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. So look out for more, don't know what these are, but look out for more Frida Fridays. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to like this video. Also, please, the most important thing is to engage. Tell me your journey. Let's have this conversation. Let's continue it. Tell me if you've disagreed with everything I've said. I also welcome that. I welcome open dialogue, and let's continue growing and becoming.